They are done qualifying. It is time to go racing. Harrison Chandler and Anthony Stevens up front. Michael Crocker and Brian Mansfield on the second row. Graham Nucky and DJ Kenner on the third row. Eddie Baker, Jonathan Orapollo on the fourth row. Fifth row is Jim Cook and Brian Burkhart. Michael Scruggs is 11th. Drew Warren is 12th. 13th is Patrick Coluccio. Jim Johnson is 14th. 15th is Mike Killenbeck. Dakota Wilson, 16th. 17th is Matt Stewart, and Kevin Martin is 18th. Jason Wiley is 19th, and 20th is Andrew Thornton. Andrew Spears is 21st. Joseph Smith, 22nd, and Nathan Voss, 23rd, rounding out this 23-car field. As everybody gets lined up on pit road, waiting on a few of the drivers. It looks like the top two, Anthony Stevens and Harrison Chandler, haven't gridded yet, so we're waiting on the two of them. But there you see Michael Crocker, Brian Mansfield in the Blue Combs Family Museum car, and the Michael Crocker there on the inside. Right behind Crocker is, of course, Graham Nucky in the white Summit paint. DJ Kenner in the very, very shiny car. You can see, especially under the lights here, you'll definitely be able to see that thing be extraordinarily shiny and reflective. Very cool. Jonathan Orapollo right behind him in the 23. Eddie Baker there to the inside. Tony Stevens having technical difficulties. He got booted from the server. Good evening, Jim Johnson. And it looks like Anthony Stevens going to have to rush to get back in. See if he can get back in time to race here. He may have to start on pit road, but he can still pick up some positions here. Hopefully the 55 will be back out on track in a moment. We'll keep a close eye on that situation. And don't forget to check out our website. Not only do we have the broadcast schedule there, but we have all the information for all the different leagues, all their links. And we will be having, there's several pages under development that'll be coming very, very soon. A lot of exciting stuff coming to the website, and you can keep track of everything you want to know about HTSAI right there. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Here they go down the front straightaway as Harrison Chandler and Brian Mansfield lead them down into turn number 1. Harrison gets a good run off the front as Brian Mansfield battling right in front of him. Coming out of turn 2, everybody, you see every single line available being used, as it looks like we had somebody get way loose back there. Kevin Martin all the way up. He is stuck on the wall. He got too high, and that safer barrier will grab you and really slow you down. He is going way back. Back up front, though, Harrison Chandler in the lead. Michael Crocker to second. Champion Brian Mansfield just finishing out the season, currently running in third. DJ Kenner is in fourth. Tony Stevens now back out on track. Currently being scored in 22nd. We'll have to see how many laps he's going to lose here. At least one, it looks like. But an early caution could save the day for Stevens. Or a really good pit strategy could play out as well. Coming out of turn 2, they're making the camera shake. And there comes Tony Stevens up onto the track. It looked like Andrew Thornton was also having some problems coming out of turn 2. And you know what? We're coming through 1 and 2 right now, so a little bit later than normal. But hey, let's take a ride along here with Jim Cook. You can see what it's like to run this track as you got a car in the wall, 2 cars ahead of him. That was Eddie Baker. You got to be careful. You can scrape that wall and get away with it a little bit, but too much, that safer barrier will grab you and will not let go. He has to get out of the throttle in the middle of 3 and 4, and despite the track looking identical at both ends, you have to drive both ends of this track substantially differently. Caution is out for the first time. And Tony Stevens has got to be loving this. Andrew Spears looks like was involved. Oh! Looks like the 35 didn't know he was there. Spears had a heck of a run. The 68, they just get together on the front straightaway. Brings us under our first caution. Drew Warren on pit road now. And most of the drivers saying they could go about 26, maybe a little bit further laps on fuel. So a 3-stop race. And we might see, even though they're only 5 laps into this, we may see a couple of the front guys come to pit road. As everybody starts checking up for the pace car here. Harrison Chandler still in the lead, been in the lead since the beginning. We'll see if he makes a decision to come to pit road. 5 laps on tires here can make a bit of an impact. So whatever the leaders do, likely everybody behind them is going to do the same. Should see Tony Stevens come flying around on the outside here in about another lap, as he will be the lucky dog. And it looks like third place, DJ Kenner came to pit road. Eddie Baker comes to pit road. Jim Johnson is coming to pit road. Matt Stewart, Jason Wiley, Michael Scruggs, Kevin Martin, Drew Warren, Andrew Spears, all coming to pit road now. Go check in on Anthony Stevens. There he is in the 55 car. And there he is getting his wave around. That should, if my math is correct, put him back to the lead lap as he comes past the leader. Most of the cars came to pit road. Only about, we'll have to take a quick look here. I think about 7 or 8 stayed out. Everybody else came to pit road. Dakota Wilson is on the move, up 8 spots, started in 16th, up to 8th. Andrew Thornton is on the move, started in 20th, up to 11th. Brian Burkhart started in 10th, up to 5th now. And Joseph Smith having one heck of a run. He started in 22nd. He is up to 12th. Looks like a couple of guys making a late pit stop. Patrick Coluccio, Jason Wiley ducking in at the last possible moment. That'll give them an extra lap or 2 on these other guys that pitted. And, of course, the top 5 or 6 not coming to pit road. Let's take a quick look here. And all of the top 8 stayed out. So all those guys have been out since lap 1, about 7.5 laps here. And of course, pace laps using less fuel, so it is a distinct advantage. Stretching that fuel mileage just a little bit, fuel strategy could come into play. All right, Harrison Chandler up front. Should be getting the one to go this time by. Lights are out on the pace car. We do have one to go. Harrison Chandler had ran away just a little bit from that front pack. Has a good car tonight. And as you see, a couple of cars have mild damage throughout the pack. This is a track where you can do a little bit of bump drafting. I imagine we're going to see a little bit of that. Not a huge amount, but a little bit of pushing down the straightaway helps both cars, so we'll see how things play out here. Harrison Chandler, however, doesn't seem to need any help here tonight. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air down the front straightaway, and it looked like Brian Burkhart had a little bit of a struggle on the start. A lot of cars getting by up to the inside. Sorry, that was Orapollo that struggled on the restart. Brian Burkhart slid by underneath of him right now, and here comes Jim Cook as well. Dakota Wilson continues to march his way forward. He is looking to the low side on Graham Nucky, even trying to get lower than Jim Cook here. Jim kind of running that middle line makes it a little bit harder. Dakota is on his way to the front. Another guy working his way forward, Joseph Smith in the 50 car there. And let's continue taking a lap around this track in Joseph Smith's car. You can see just how close it's getting as Graham Nucky right there gets loose. Everybody squeezes by safely. Awesome job by everybody, and Dakota Wilson picks up a position in that little bit of a melee. Down the front straightaway, off into turns 1 and 2, and you'll often see a lot of these guys run one line through 1 and 2 and a different line through 3 and 4. Even though both ends of the track built the same banking, it just is a matter of the way the track is that these guys run it a little bit differently at both ends of the track. Yeah, everybody single file right in front of these three guys. And now Joseph Smith looking to the inside on Dakota Wilson. Dakota went into turns 1 and 2 a little bit higher than he previously has. We'll see if he sticks with that line. Meanwhile, Michael Crocker has made his way to the front, put Harrison Chandler back to second place. And a lot of activity going on all over the track. Dakota Wilson, Joseph Smith side by side. They're side by side right behind him, Graham Nucky and Mike Killenbeck. DJ Kenner lurking there as well with Matt Stewart on the high side. And you know that Michael Crocker has got to be looking in his mirror, loving seeing all this battling side by side. Matthew Harris dropping in to cheer on Jim Cook. You know, Jim Cook has a lot of his cars painted with some really great alcohol. Caution is out. I believe Andrew Spencer is involved, or Andrew Spears, excuse me. Oh, Graham Nucky looks like he hit the wall. Oh, Graham Nucky, I think there might have been a little net code from Matt Stewart. Let's try and... I don't think he hit anything. I don't think anything touched him. Oh, he got a little bit of the wall and slowed him down. Matt Stewart was right there, and just several cars collected, bringing us under our second caution of the night. And a rough break for some of these guys. They'll have to go use their fast repair right now. Meanwhile, Anthony Stevens in the 55, now up to 16th place. I'd imagine he'll pick up a spot or two after that chaos that happened right in front of him. Those guys that are going to pit road, even if he goes to pit road, I'm guessing he's going to pick up a few spots as the 31. And now the leaders are coming to pit road. Everybody's coming to pit road. Literally every car. I don't see anybody staying out. No cars staying out for the moment. Everybody on pit road here at lap 17. And Anthony Stevens, having had the technical difficulties earlier in the 55 car after qualifying second, he is a front row pit stall. We'll see how quickly he gets in and out here. Right side tires going on as a lot of the field getting off pit road already. Left side, it looks like a lot of these guys took a 2-tire stop. Anthony Stevens taking 4. Harrison Chandler now back to the lead. Brian Mansfield has worked his way up to second. Brian Burkhart now in third. Michael Crocker back to 4th. Jonathan Orapallo up to 5th. Dakota Wilson loses a couple spots. He is in 9th now. Joseph Smith in 8th. Eddie Baker still holding on to 7th. It was a party in the pits this time around. Anthony Stevens picks up a couple of spots on pit road, now up to 14th. Lights should be going out on the pace car here. You heard Brian Mansfield in the pre-race as we were talking about him locking up the championship a couple of weeks ago, saying this is not one of his best tracks, but here he is up at the front. So that might have just been crap. Michael Crocker up to 4th. Anthony Stevens in 14th after starting the race in qualified second. Technical difficulties, comes out on the track 23rd. A lap down after getting everything squared away. Now up to 14th, and he's had some fast laps out there. We'll see if he can make his way back to the front. He's not that far off the leader's pace right now. Hey, thanks, Craig. All right, pace car will duck off here. Harrison Chandler, Brian Mansfield gonna lead them down. Pace car is in. Everybody getting ready. Green flag is in the air for Harrison Chandler again. Off they go down the front straightaway. Harrison gets another good jump, starting to break away already. Burkhart on the bottom, trying to get around Mansfield here. Looks like he might pull it off. Jim Cook. Oh, we've got Joseph Smith spinning. Tons of cars wrecking behind him. Caution is out again. And, oh, DJ Kenner just got a tap, it looked like, from Jim Johnson. Collected several cars. Looks like DJ Kenner, Andrew Spears, Kevin Martin, Joseph Smith, all collected in that. Joseph Smith, of course, having his a little bit of his own incident as he got loose just in front of him and managed to keep it low, but locked him up, and everybody gets by. But definitely a tough restart. We mentioned on cold tires, these cars are extremely loose. And Ellen will be very happy to hear that Anthony Stevens managed to get through that with no damage. Nobody touched him. Now up to 8th. In a bit of a crazy race. I wish he was available. I'm double checking to see if he's available to talk to. He is not. Jim Johnson in the 39 has picked up the most positions, but because the caution, he was involved or started the caution with the incident with DJ Kenner, he will get an EOL, so he'll go to the end of the line. And let's see if we can get a hold of Dakota Wilson. Hey, Dakota, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you are on a tear.
Yeah, I kind of spun out there on my first lap of qualifying, got into the wall, and it was down on power for that second lap, so I just coasted around and finished it up.
Well, you started in 16th. You're now up to, it looks like you're going to be 8th now that Tony Stevens is hitting pit road. So you going to be able to get all the way up there to Harrison and give him a run for his money?
I'm going to give him the best shot. I got a little bit of damage from that wreck on the restart, so hopefully it's nothing too bad, and I can keep chipping away at it.
Looks like, hang on, we'll take a quick look at your car. Looks like your spoiler's a little high on the right rear and your right rear bumper's pushed in, but other than that, you're actually probably better. You'll probably have better handling with that spoiler being up.
We'll give it a shot on this next green flag run. I got 2 fast repairs in my pocket.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you. Heck of a run so far, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in victory lane.
Thank you.
All right, that was Dakota Wilson, and as we saw, Tony Stevens went to pit road. No, he did not go to pit road. It showed. I think once everybody lined up, it put him back to 9th. It briefly looked like he had gone to pit road, and it looks like he might still have a slight connection problem. Did see him blink briefly. But so far, so good. All right, lights are out on the pace car. Jim Cook, Matthew Harris, Jim Cook now up to 5th. Interesting tidbit. Jim Cook's cars, I was saying this earlier, all of his cars have a different kind of alcohol on them. All of them are really great, except for his XFinity car. I've been trying to convince him to put a different beer on that car, but not having much luck there. So if you talk to him, tell him get a real beer on there. Eddie Baker at the fastest lap in practice, currently being running in 6th. Dakota Wilson in 7th. There's Tony Stevens in 9th at the moment as they get ready to go green one more time. Restart on lap 24. Pace car is on pit road, and green flag is back in the air. Here they go again, down off into turn 1. Harrison Chandler does not get the awesome restart he has been getting the last few times. Burkhart, Mansfield, Crocker all right there with him. Couple of guys getting a little bit loose coming off turn 2 that time, but everybody keeps them going the right way. Dakota Wilson slipped a couple positions on the restart, now back into 10th. Tony Stevens now up to 8th. And Matt Stewart starting to make his way back through the field in the 07. He was caught up in that previous incident. He is now back up to 13th. As they look like they're trying to make it 4 wide down the back straightaway, everybody thinks better of it, and here comes Joseph Smith. Spun out, got really loose coming off turn 2 on that last restart, and now working his way back to the front. Kevin Martin, Andrew Spears, both on pit road at the moment. They may be out. I have a funny story about that, Matthew Harris. I'll have to tell you sometime. Brian Burkhart now up to 2nd. He has gotten around Eddie Baker, Brian Mansfield after starting in 10th. Burkhart may be the man to beat here tonight. DJ Kenner was involved in an incident just a moment ago. He has come to pit road. Let's see what happened. Let's try that from a different angle and see what happened here. Oh, the 6 got into him, just a little bit of a tap, and he goes around. Eddie Baker now looking to the high side. He is trying to get around Burkhart. Burkhart just storming through the field, but Eddie Baker, Eddie's trying to cross over here. Came off the high line, dropped down low as Burkhart went up high, went out to the wall, and now he is down on the bottom through 3 and 4. And he has the run down the front straightaway. Can he take 2nd place here? Move Eddie Baker now to 2nd place. Brian Burkhart to 3rd. Brian Mansfield to 4th. Michael Crocker now in 5th. And the first 8 cars all within 1.5 seconds. Tony Stevens, the furthest one back, 1.5 seconds. Jim Johnson forward. Everybody is very, very close. There's everybody still really in the top 10 within in the draft and able to pull back up at any moment. But it's going to come down to who saves their tires the best here. Jonathan Orapalo went to pit road a couple of laps ago. He has come back out. Mike Killenbeck now in the top 10. He's got Dakota Wilson right there with him. Killenbeck started in 15th. Dakota started in 16th. They now run 9th and 10th. Joseph Smith now back up in 11th. Back up front, Eddie Baker to the lead. And let's see that pass for the lead. And it looks like he might have pulled the same move. No, he just ran off of turn 2, down the back straightaway, carried all that momentum. And by the time they got to turn 3, he had the lead. Eddie Baker ran practice, the entire practice. He ran about 4th, 5th fastest. And with just about a minute left in practice, he went out and turned the fastest lap that anybody had run all throughout practice. Looked like he was probably sandbagging throughout practice tonight. Meanwhile, Brian Burkhart and Michael Crocker trying to get around Burkhart on the high side. Brian Mansfield, the Xfinity champion, he is now in 5th, going backwards just a little bit. He gets a little bit loose coming off turn 2, manages to keep it straight. He's going to lose a couple of positions here. He is now back to 7th. And within striking distance of the 55 of Tony Stevens now. We'll have to keep a close eye on him. Most of these guys get loose on cold tires, but Brian seems like he is having some problems once the tires get worn in. Manages to keep it straight that time by Jim Johnson, now looking to the inside of Jim Cook. Off into turn 3, they are side by side. Just over a third of the way through the race at this point. And don't forget to go check out the Facebook page. We have all the information, including the updated fundraising for Monday night's race. The information is there for $10. You can get a friend, family member, loved one who has been affected by cancer. You can have their name shown and talked about during the broadcast Monday night as we do the cancer memorial race for Skylar Massey's mom. Huge shout out to everybody who's donated so far, almost to $500, goal of $2,000, and I believe we will make it. We also will have the there is also the raffle going on. $5 buys you a ticket, and you can win the chance to get a full dirt fleet painted by Loud Wraps. While they are settled in, let's take a moment and run through the field, starting with your leader, Eddie Baker, who has now got about 0.3 of a second over second place, Brian Burkhart. Harrison Chandler, the early leader, is now back to 3rd. Michael Crocker in 4th, and he is all over the back bumper of the 29 car. Jim Johnson currently running 5th. Brian Mansfield now back up to 6th. Jim Cook, Tony Stevens, and Joseph Smith all running for 7th place. There is Tony Stevens on the high side, Jim Cook on the bottom, Joseph Smith right there with these guys. Mike Killenbeck now in 10th. He's starting to make his way forward. Matt Stewart currently running in 11th. Jason Wiley is in 12th, and I believe that is Michael Scruggs on the high side. He came off 2, got a little bit loose, was down on the infield. He has managed to recover that, but lost a position. He is now back to 13th. Dakota Wilson currently running in 14th. Patrick Coluccio now starting to make his way forward in the 6 car. He is in 15th. Although that says 6 on it, he's actually the 99, but paint schemes and all. Dakota in 15th. Drew Warren currently running in 16th. Andrew Thornton is on pit road from 17th spot. Jonathan Oropolo currently 18th. Graham Nucky appears to be off track along with DJ Kenner, Kevin Martin, and a few others. And now we've got a battle for the lead as Harrison Chandler is back in the mix for the top spot. Eddie Baker, though, drops down to the low line, coming through 3 and 4, manages to hold on to the lead. Harrison Chandler this time down to the inside. He is coming through 1 and 2. He's going to have a bit of a run. Eddie Baker not done with him yet. Eddie Baker still holding on, but as they enter turn 3, it is Harrison Chandler back to the lead. Andrew Spears had an incident just a moment ago. Let's see if we... Oh, it looked like as he was coming off pit road, he clipped the grass just a little bit, and that sends you around very easily. Joseph Smith was also charging forward. It looks like he might have had an incident as well. Oh, he is coming down to pit road. And, yep, he got in the grass, drifted up just a little bit, manages to save it, though. And it looks like we're starting to see green flag pit stops at lap 44. This is the first round of green flag stops. Harrison Chandler has now opened up a 1-second lead over Eddie Baker. Eddie Baker now has Brian Burkhart, Michael Crocker, and Jim Johnson right there with him. Burkhart now coming to pit road. Jim Johnson coming to pit road. Brian Mansfield coming to pit road. Crocker, Baker, and Chandler all stay out. Matt Stewart stays out. Jason Wiley stays out. And Patrick Coluccio has crashed. Looks like Coluccio was trying to get to pit road, couldn't quite get it done, and hits the inside wall. Actually, it looks like he hit the barrels trying to get onto pit road. All right, Harrison Chandler is still out there. Jason Wiley still out there. Everybody else. Drew Warren has stayed out. Most everybody else has been to pit road. Taking a quick look at the pit strategy, it looks like Wiley stopped 24 laps ago. Everybody else that is not pitted has been 29 laps ago, including Chandler, so they cannot stay out as Harrison Chandler now on pit road. Wiley stays out. He is trying to get a lap lead here. And he will do it. He gets the lap lead at the line. Drew Warren now on pit road. Once things cycle through, it looks like Eddie Baker will be back to the lead. See how much longer Jason Wiley can stretch this. It'll either be this lap or the next one when Wiley comes to pit road. And it looks like he might have checked up just a little bit in 3 and 4. No, he is not coming to pit road as Jim Johnson looks low. Those fresh tires just so much faster. Can't quite get the job done yet, though. Harrison Chandler now coming back out. Jason Wiley up on the high side, coming out of turn 2. He gets Tony Stevens slips by him in 8th place. I believe Jason Wiley is the only car left to come to pit road now. And he stays out one more lap. He's got to have his fingers crossed for a caution. He would trap all but the top 8 a lap down. Meanwhile, Eddie Baker is about 27 seconds behind. Harrison Chandler right there with Baker. Burkhart not far behind either. Crocker currently in 5th. Brian Mansfield currently in 6th. Jim Johnson 7th. Tony Stevens 8th. And Matt Stewart 9th. Jim Cook in 10th. Jason Wiley will give up the lead here at lap 49 and come to pit road. The lead will cycle back to Eddie Baker. A little bit of a gap between everybody now. Half a second between first place Eddie Baker, second place Harrison Chandler. 2 seconds back to Brian Burkhart now. Michael Crocker currently running in 4th. Brian Mansfield in 5th, almost 5 seconds behind the leader. Jim Johnson is in 6th. Tony Stevens is in 7th. Tony Stevens, after having the technical difficulties at the start of this race, is really making quite a move here. Technical difficulties, started a lap down, had to start from pit road. Caution comes out early. He gets his lap back, but he's at the tail end of the field in 23rd place, has worked his way up through a fast car and strategy up to 7th. Harrison Chandler still in the lead, but the gap is closing. As we mentioned, Eddie Baker definitely sandbagging during practice, now charging his way back up to the leader. It was over half a second last time by. It is now down to just 0.4 of a second, and he's within the draft now of Harrison Chandler. Brian Burkhart currently running in 3rd. Michael Crocker now to 4th. Brian Mansfield is 5th. Patrick Coluccio has had another incident. Looks like Coluccio might be having some connection issues there. Jim Cook and Joseph Smith just involved in another incident. Let's see if we can see what happened. They were running side by side out of turn 2. They just barely tap. Both of them spin to the inside. It is clear of the racing surface, so the track stays green. Both of these guys are going to lose a ton of time. Joseph Smith about to go a lap down here. Let's take a look. His car looks pretty heavily banged up, especially on the back end. The front end is pretty torn up. Jim Cook has come to pit road. Eddie Baker in 2nd is starting to lose ground to Harrison Chandler. Brian Burkhart in 3rd is actually starting to close up just a little bit on the both of them. Crocker in 4th. Brian Mansfield right there with him in 5th. Jim Johnson 6th. Tony Stevens in 7th. And Tony is actually closing on these guys as well. He's running some really fast laps here. Dakota Wilson now in 8th after starting 16th. He's made up a lot of ground. Jason Wiley, really good pit strategy. He stretched that tank of fuel to its absolute limit, got some laps led, and now he's up to 9th after starting in 19th. So great strategy out of that young man as he continues to make his way forward. And in 10th place, after starting in 15th, Mike Killenbeck. Mike got caught up in an incident earlier as well, still making his way towards the front. Andrew Thornton, now 11th after starting 20th. Matt Stewart is 12th. Joseph Smith has come to pit road for repair, so both him and Jim Cook have been to pit road. Jonathan Orapollo now in 13th. Joseph Smith is 14th. He is coming off pit road a little bit hot there, buddy. Yep, get back down there. That was a close one as he almost slid back up onto the racing surface. You saw that blue cone as he comes by. You cannot join the racing surface before you get to that blue cone. Jim Cook is now running 14th. Joseph Smith 15th after that incident. Jonathan Orapollo in 13th and Matt Stewart. And it looks like things go from bad to worse for Joseph Smith. I do believe he got black flagged for joining the track too early. I think his right sides managed to get on the track enough that it detected it, and he has to serve a black flag. Should just be a drive-through penalty, but he will lose a lap doing so. Harrison Chandler still way out in front. He is opening up a bit of a gap over Eddie Baker in second. Brian Burkhart is in third and starting to close down on Eddie Baker. Michael Crocker in fourth, starting to close down on him as well. Brian Mansfield still a full second behind this battle. Jim Johnson in 6th, and Tony Stevens in 7th has Dakota Wilson in 8th, starting to close in on him. Jason Wiley, caution is out. And that will change the whole complexion of the race in a blink of an eye. Looks like Graham Nucky was involved in an incident. And I do not know. Let's rewind here just a little bit. I don't know why that triggered a caution. He was out of the racing groove. He pulled down clear of the track, and I do not know why iRacing threw a caution on that. Unless it's because he was stopped on the road course section of the track. That's the only logical explanation. Meanwhile, everybody is going to come to pit road. Looks like Matt Stewart is the first car. One lap down. He should be the wave around car in 12th place. And if none of these cars that are one lap down come to pit road, they will get at least one lap back via a wave around. Joseph Smith and Jim Cook both could pull that one off right now. I don't know if Jim Cook is... Let's see where he is. Yeah, he is right there. So Jim Cook, Michael Scruggs, Joseph Smith could all get a lap back here, as Matt Stewart should be the one to get the lucky dog. Mike Killenbeck currently being scored in the lead. Killenbeck must have had a different tire strategy or something there as he came off pit road. He was one that stopped, came off pit road extremely quickly, and yeah, he is now to the lead. Eddie Baker in third. He has been one of the fastest cars out there tonight. Looking to see if we can get a hold of him. It does not look like we can. Tony Stevens is now available. Hey, Tony, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hey, man. Not the way you wanted the race to start, but you're definitely making your way through the field. Starting a lap down, you're already back to the lead lap and up to 8th.
Hey, if you know me, this is how my life works. Just when you think you got everything going perfectly, something throws up and you're right in front of you. But man, this thing's been great. We've got a really, really good car. I'm really enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. It's really different with some of these guys are fast in, a little slower off. I tend to go with the slower in, a little fast off, and it's really been good for us. This is fun.
Well, you have charged your way through the field. As you get the one green, are you going to be able to get up to the front?
I don't know. This is where it gets a lot harder. So I would love to be up there, but we're going to give it everything we got and see what we can do.
All right, man. Yep, you still got a ways to go. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Tony Stevens still pretty confident. And I'm hearing that there is a possibility Anthony Alfredo is watching right now. So, hello, sir. All right, Mike Killenbeck up front. Harrison Chandler in second. Third is Eddie Baker. Brian Burkhart is fourth. Crocker fifth. Then it's Mansfield, Johnson, Stevens, Wiley, and Wilson rounding out the top 10. Everybody lined back up, and as you heard just a moment ago, things are about to get a lot harder for some of these guys, and it looks like they waved. Nope, there comes the pace car. Green flag back in the air. Here they go again. They've got 34 laps to go. They will have to make one more stop. As Eddie Baker, and they're 3 wide already through 1 and 2. Killenbeck dropping back quickly, did not get a good start. Harrison Chandler back to the lead. They're 3 wide on the back straightaway. And they are still battling side by side back here as Dakota Wilson is trying to make his way up. Tony Stevens drops back to 10th on the restart. He is going to start having to work his way back up through the field. Jason Wiley, great pit strategy and a long run, has got him inside the top 10 and making his way forward, but Killenbeck's in the wall. He manages to save it. Everybody makes it out of turn 2. The 31 car down to the inside, into the wall. Andrew Thornton hits the inside wall, minimal damage, but he has lost the pack and a lot of ground. Eddie Baker, Harrison Chandler. This battle just continues. We've seen these two up front all night, side by side. 32 laps to go. It is Eddie Baker now moving back to the lead. No. Harrison Chandler sent it in hard that time. Baker's going to try the crossover move on him again. Down the front straightaway, Baker has the advantage going off into turn 1. He sends it in there. If he sends it in too deep, Chandler can do the same trick to him, but no, he manages to make it stick, drifts up out of 2, and takes the lead back. Meanwhile, just a few spots back, Michael Crocker now up to 5th, looking at the back bumper of Brian Mansfield for 4th. Tony Stevens now making his way back up. He is up to 8th, but Dakota Wilson right up there in 7th is another one that has come charging through the field all night. And we can't forget Jason Wiley, who was in the around 14th or 15th all night long until the first green flag pit stop. Then he stayed out and stretched his mileage and tires longer than everybody. Had a great pit stop as had a car go way wide on the back straightaway. Everybody manages to save it, but definitely a rough night for some of these guys. Everybody being very tame at the moment. Let's see if anybody else goes wide off of turn 2. No, they do not. Eddie Baker now starting to open up a lead. Killenbeck, after restarting in first, has dropped all the way back to 10th place. Eddie Baker and Harrison Chandler continue this battle, and now Brian Burkhart jumping up. He is looking for second place from Harrison Chandler. We've seen Harrison come back later in the run and run Eddie Baker back down on that last green flag run. Will he do it again? And Killenbeck now to pit road. Looks like he might have stayed out there. Now he is getting fresh tires with 27 laps to go, and this will be his final stop. We'll have to wait and see, will Killenbeck's strategy be the absolute best one out there, because everybody else still has to make another stop. He stops now, he'll have the freshest tires on the track, and he will have the fuel to make it to the end. Brian Burkhart now to second. Harrison Chandler is in third, but Michael Crocker has made it back to fourth and now looking for third. Chandler's been running that low line most of the night, low to middle, and looks like Crocker's running a very similar line. But Crocker getting a little bit loose off turn 4. Jim Johnson up to 5th now. Brian Mansfield, the points, the champion actually, back to 6th. He said this wasn't one of his best tracks, but he's been in the top 5 all night until now. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Dakota Wilson now up to 7th on the back bumper, and Tony Stevens right there with him. Andrew Thornton, haven't talked about him a whole lot. He had an issue earlier in the race, got way loose. That caution, he was able to get pulled back up to everybody, and he was able to get a fresh set of tires. He is now up to 10th after starting in 20th. Matt Stewart also caught in an incident earlier. He is now up to 11th after starting in 17th. Jim Cook, after the wreck with him and Joseph Smith earlier, has worked his way back to 12th. Joseph Smith is in 17th, but he is charging by some of these guys right now. He has been one of the fastest cars on track tonight. Currently, though, 4 laps down. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Dakota Wilson and Tony Stevens have both been marching forward all night. Both of them, Dakota had a bad qualifying run, and Tony Stevens, obviously, when we talked to him, having some bad luck at the start of the race, but definitely has made his way back to the front, and he said no matter what, he is having a ton of fun out there. You could hear it in his voice how much fun he was having. Andrew Thornton now gives up 10th place to come to pit road. Now everybody is within the pit window, so now it is a question of what strategy do they take? Do they wait till the last minute? Do they split this run in half? Once Eddie Baker comes to pit road, you know, as Brian Burkhart now getting challenged, here comes Harrison Chandler back to second. We mentioned it a few minutes ago. He comes on a lot stronger on the long run, and here he is late in a run. But Brian Burkhart now trying to make a crossover move. Every time Harrison has been passed tonight, it has been via the crossover move. That is the only way these guys can get around him. And this time it's not going to work. Harrison holds on to second place. Burkhart now in third. Crocker, meanwhile, lurking right on the back bumper of Burkhart. Jim Johnson hanging out just behind them. Brian Mansfield with him. Then it's Wilson and Stevens. And Stevens is finally getting around some of this lap traffic. Looks like long run, he might be struggling here just a little bit. He is right on the wall coming out of turn 2. Harrison Chandler makes the move to pit road. Brian Mansfield stays out. Burkhart comes in. Crocker comes in. Jim Johnson, Dakota Wilson, Jason Wiley, all to pit road. Only 3 cars stay out. Anthony Stevens, Brian Mansfield, and the leader Eddie Baker, the only 3 cars to stay out. There's 3 seconds from Baker to Mansfield. From Mansfield to Stevens is another 3 seconds. And now these guys have got to hope for a caution as everybody comes back off pit road. They could, as Stevens now coming to pit road, Baker came to pit road, Mansfield staying out. Last cycle of green flag stops. Everybody can go to the end from here as leader Brian Mansfield comes around and puts Harrison Chandler a lap down. That will not last long as Harrison now has fresher tires. Harrison going to the high side, trying to get his lap back. He's going to do it. Brian Mansfield now comes to pit road. Harrison Chandler now out in front, 2.5 lead. As Eddie Baker comes off pit road, he was actually briefly scored in the lead. Now Harrison takes the lead from him. Caution! And it's Tony Stevens this time. What a heartbreak. Let's... Looks like as he was coming out of the pit stall, he got on it too hard and just spun the car because of his position. I guess iRacing detected that as a crash. He was on the road course portion, then on the pit road exit, struggling to get that car going the right way. What a heartbreak after the run he was having. I think he'll still maintain the lead lap. He'll be back in 11th place. He may have lost a lap on that. We'll have to wait for scoring to update. It looks like he is not. Looks like Anthony Stevens will stay on the lead lap, and Brian Mansfield, last one into pit road, now back to the lead. Harrison Chandler currently second. Eddie Baker third. Dakota Wilson fourth. Matt Stewart and Mike Killenbeck are coming to pit road again. Burkhart to fifth. Crocker in sixth. Jim Johnson seventh. Jason Wiley. And now that's going to be an advantage. Tony Stevens will now move up to ninth. He will maintain the lead lap. And Michael Scruggs getting back to the lead lap here. Scruggs, another one that has been having a very rough night. Let's see if we can talk to him real quick. Hey, Scruggs, this is Doug in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Hey, Doug. How's it going, brother?
Hey, man. Going good. And it looks like your night just got a little bit better. You're back on the lead lap now.
Yes, sir. We was fighting hard there at the end, trying to get those laps back, and that hard work paid off.
Well, now that you're back on the lead lap, that's going to put about 12 cars on the lead lap. Can you get all the way to the front now?
I don't think I can get to the front, but I would love to make it a top 10.
I would imagine as fast as you've been running, that should not be too terribly hard right now.
I appreciate it, and we're going to fight hard for it. Maybe we can get better than the top 10. Maybe we get a top 5 out of it.
All right, man. Best of luck, and go get them.
Trying to get a fresh set of runs and go after them.
All right, man. Good luck. All right, that was Michael Scruggs. As you heard, several incidents, and he ended up a couple of laps down, has worked his way around, back to the lead lap now. Said he's going to duck down and get a fresh set of tires. He's doing that right now. That should help him out. Couple of different stories going on here. Eddie Baker has been up front battling with several different guys, including Harrison Chandler all night, and Brian Burkhart's been giving both of them a run for their money. They are all now, Harrison is second, Eddie is third. Dakota Wilson has worked his way up. Now he is up in fourth, and he has been one of the faster cars. Brian Burkhart hanging on in fifth, and Michael Crocker, who's been in the top 5 all night, had a great run, now in sixth. So second through sixth, some of the fastest cars out there so far tonight. Anthony Stevens, problems off pit road, actually the one that drew the caution this time, and managed to maintain the lead lap. He is in ninth. Other lead lap cars, Mike Killenbeck, Matt Stewart, and Michael Scruggs all on the lead lap. 10th, 11th, and 12th have come to pit road and got fresh tires. Those guys coming through the field will be something to watch. They'll have just a few laps fresher tires, but that could make all the difference here with about 13 laps to go when we go green. It's time to take a deep breath, folks. Take a deep breath. We're probably going to be holding our breath for several laps here as they get ready to go green. It looks like the green flag has been delayed one more time around, as everybody is still getting sorted out in the back of the field. Lights are now out on the pace car. Now it's time to take a quick deep breath, because this thing is about to get very wild. They'll now have about 12 laps once the green flag drops. Several guys, 10th, 11th, and 12th place, all on fresh tires. Anthony Stevens has no laps on his tires, but Brian Mansfield, it looks like there might be a scoring issue. Everybody having to come around the pace car now. Taking a look, I do believe all the lead lap cars are now coming around the pace car. Yes, indeed. Lights back on the pace car. It looks like there was a scoring issue. All the lead lap cars coming around. Let's see, is... We'll have to watch Brian Mansfield, see where he lines up. I do believe he's going to be catching back up to the pace car any moment. Pace car doing 65, these guys doing 150. It doesn't take long to catch the pace car here. And now Brian Mansfield is back to the pace car. Lights are out. We'll see if they delay it one more time as everybody gets lined back up. Coming down the back straightaway, we'll watch the pace car closely to see if the lights go back on. Almost everybody is back up where they should be. Interesting turn of events here, and they should go green with about 10 laps to go if everybody gets back in position quickly. Green flag is back in the air. Here they go one more time as Brian Mansfield has the lead. Harrison Chandler is in second. Eddie Baker now in third. And there's that battle going on as Crocker now makes a power move to the outside into 1 and 2, trying to get around Burkhart. Burkhart has a run. There is somebody smoking. Oh, the 11 of Brian Mansfield gets loose off turn 2. He clears the racing surface. We stay green. Crocker gets around Burkhart coming down the back straightaway. Crocker now to fourth. Eddie Baker makes the pass for the lead. Harrison Chandler has been watching and had that crossover move pulled on him all night long with 9 laps to go. Can he make it work? Dakota Wilson, who's been in the top 5, in and out of the top 5 all night, now up to third, and all these guys are pushing these cars for all they're worth. Dakota Wilson holding on to third. Here comes Crocker. Burkhart losing a little bit of ground. Jim Johnson right there with him. Jason Wiley, pit strategy and a fast hot rod has got him up to 7th now. Tony Stevens now back to 8th after the incident or the connection issues early on. The incident that drew the caution, he is still on the lead lap fighting his way back. Matt Stewart in 9th. Mike Killenbeck in 10th. Michael Scruggs in 11th. All of those 3 guys, those last 3, Matt Stewart, Mike Killenbeck, Michael Scruggs, all on fresh tires. Don't know if they'll have enough time to chase down the leaders, though. Crocker now trying to make a move on Dakota Wilson for third. Crocker down to the inside has a huge run coming up off of turn 2. Crocker now to third as Eddie Baker starts to open up a bit of a lead. They fan out down the back straightaway. No change in position as they fan out. Dakota Wilson still hanging on to 4th place as Crocker gets by, but Burkhart, Jim Johnson both charging very quickly. Michael Crocker now just 0.4 of a second behind second place Harrison Chandler. Burkhart and Johnson both look to the inside. Burkhart gets a run down below Dakota Wilson. He's got a nose ahead coming up off of turn 4, and he takes the position. That moves Burkhart to 4th, Dakota Wilson to 5th, and now Jim Johnson looking for 5th. Eddie Baker continuing to open up the run. He has been the fastest on the short run. Will it be a long enough run for Harrison Chandler to close back up, though? Harrison Chandler's been the fastest as the tires wear. Meanwhile, Crocker still lurking right behind Chandler. Tony Stevens in 8th has picked up a little bit of ground on Jason Wiley now. Jim Cook running back there as well. He is currently in 13th, 1 lap down. Brian Mansfield, after getting loose on the restart, going through turns 1 and 2, now back to 12th place. 3 laps to go, and Eddie Baker has almost a second lead over second place Harrison Chandler. Crocker in 3rd, trying to run down Chandler. Burkhart back there in 4th. Oh! Jim Johnson gets way loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Dakota Wilson capitalizes on it. He is down to the inside. He's going to take 5th back. Jim Johnson still fighting up on the high side. He's not going to let him have 5th that easily. Dakota Wilson has a nose ahead. Dead even down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go, and the battle for 5th is about to get even busier. Jason Wiley has now jumped up into that battle. Michael Crocker now right on the back bumper of Harrison Chandler. Multiple battles going on. That is what is so awesome about Homestead. There's battles all over the track. Harrison Chandler now has a mirror full of Michael Crocker. Eddie Baker has got to be loving looking in his mirror. He's got a 1.2 second lead over second place. And his white flag is in the air. Harrison Chandler on the high side. Michael Crocker on the bottom. They come out of turn 2, and it is Harrison just by a nose off into turn 3. Eddie Baker is going to win. Who's it going to be for second? Then we have to hop back and look. It'll be Michael Crocker to second. Brian Burkhart now to 4th. Jim Johnson is in 5th. Dakota Wilson managed to hold on to 6th. Jason Wiley is 7th. Tony Stevens recovers for 8th, barely, because Matt Stewart was right on the back bumper. Killenbeck is 10th. And a heck of a run out of Eddie Baker. He had the short run speed for sure. The long run speed went to Harrison Chandler, but in the end, that last run was not long enough. Don't forget, we will have the Pro Late Models here shortly. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page. Make sure you check out htsai.net. Go to the Facebook page and help us raise money for the American Cancer Society for Monday's Cancer Memorial Race. As Eddie Baker actually gets a little bit of burnout before anybody gets too crazy with him, because we've seen how these guys celebrate. All right, we'll see if we can get Eddie Baker in here in just a moment. Meantime, I'm looking to see if we can talk to the other, and there's Michael Crocker, who came home second. Hey, Michael Crocker, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, what a run there at the end.
Yeah, it was a good run, man. I saved my tires for the last lap and really put it on him there.
Well, you and Baker had pulled that crossover move on him a couple of times. It looked like he was going to try and pull it there with a couple laps to go, but you managed to get back around him and just run off with it. I have to know, how much tire do you have left after that last lap?
I'm not really sure how to check that. I think I'd have to go back into the pits, but I'd say probably around 90.
That you were pushing extremely hard. That last part, you charged forward pretty steadily all night, but heck of a run, man.
Appreciate it, man. That was a lot of fun. Good way to end the season.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, that was second place Michael Crocker. I think this is Eddie. Let me see. Is that Eddie Baker? Oh, well, maybe not. We'll see if he joins us here in the booth in a minute. In the meantime, let me see if I can find Harrison Chandler. Hey, Eddie, is that you?
Yeah, that's me, Doug.
Hey, man, congratulations. What a wild one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I saw a bunch of comments on your feed there. Anthony Alfredo, huge shout out to him as well for mentioning me and putting a comment. My family was watching tonight too, so real glad I could pull this one off.
Yeah, that was one heck of a race, and you definitely had the advantage on the short run. It looked like Chandler had the better long run car, but on that short run, man, that was just crazy. You were crazy fast.
I really like running the wall up there, and it definitely is it's on fresh tires. It's a lot easier to run up there, and you get a huge run off of turn 2 there down the backstretch. But man, even Chandler and Harrison there and Burkhart, man, they were fast in the long run. Once I got a gap on them, I was excited, but I just kept checking that relative, and here they came every time.
Well, when that last caution came out, you obviously with the short run speed, you had the advantage there. Were you glad to see that last caution put you in the position you were in?
I absolutely was, and to be honest with you, I had 2 tires there. You know how much I love running 2 tires to try and fend these guys off.
That is awesome. That's not the first time you pulled that 2-tire trick either. So, heck of a run, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody that puts this all together.
All right, man. Congratulations. Go celebrate. It looks like your fans and Angela are all ready to celebrate this one.
Oh, yeah. I had my stepmother, my father, and my little sister watching this one. And like I said, too, huge shout out to Anthony Alfredo for commenting, too, taking time out of his day. He and I are pretty friendly on Instagram there. We chat back and forth sometimes, so appreciate him, too.
All right, man. Congratulations. Great race. Go celebrate, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. Gonna go eat some pizza rolls and Mountain Dew now.
Hey, I've been sitting here sipping Mountain Dew. You deliver pizza rolls?
Gotta love them.
I know it. All right, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks again.
All right. Looks like Brian Burkhart. Hey, Brian. This is Doug. You got me, bud?
Hey, Doug. How are you, man?
Hey, man. Heck of a run tonight. Started in 10th, and you had kind of an up and down night all night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really just wanted to come in and just say thanks to you and everybody else. This has been a really fun league, and for our first time doing this deal this year, I just can't thank everybody enough, yourself included. So really appreciate it. A lot of fun this year. Had a couple of bumps and bruises that we got to work through, but can't wait for season 2.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. Another great run, and on to some pro late models.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that one, but I'll see you guys here soon. I'll catch you. Appreciate it, Doug.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
All right, that was league owner Brian Burkhart. I'm looking to see. It does not look like Harrison is available to talk to, so we'll try and catch him the next opportunity we get. No, I do not see him, but huge shout out to Anthony Alfredo for jumping in tonight and watching. I know these guys really appreciate it. Please stick around for just a few moments. We will be right back with the Pro Late Models, another season finale race, so that one will be wild too. As with the Xfinity series, that series, the championship was locked up last week by Stephen Lindau, but every position from 2nd back to 10th is still in play, so good luck, and we'll be watching that here in just a few moments. Stick around, don't go anywhere.